Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Sian. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. There are loads of different types of video today. I'm going with one of MamaKat's YouTube tags. It is the What I Would Tell My Pregnant Self tag, which is quite a mouthful. If you haven't seen MamaKat before, I'll leave a link below to her channel. She's fantastic. Been following her for absolutely years on YouTube. She makes a drink from Pinterest every Friday and gets drunk with her best mates. So what's not to like? Right, so I'm going to start with the questions. Number one is things I would tell myself about your growing body. Well, I guess I was quite unlucky during pregnancy in that I was very, very sick, so my body didn't actually grow that much to start with. I think I got to 24 weeks without a bump with my son, just because I just couldn't physically eat. So I guess what I would say to myself about your growing body is that it doesn't matter if you don't grow as fast as other people, because I was so jealous of these people with these beautiful little bumps and I literally had nothing. When I went for my 20-week scan, the midwife said to me, well, you've nearly got a bump. I was just like, I don't know where I hid the baby. He was £7.10 when he was born. But even at the end, my bump was measuring 8 weeks small, so I kept having to go for growth scans. They kept telling me he was going to be tiny. So yeah, I hid him somewhere, who knows where. Number two, about documenting your pregnancy. I really wish I'd have been doing YouTube when I was pregnant with my son. It was 9 years ago and I wish I'd filmed more. I did take kind of a picture every week of my bump or not bump, and I really enjoyed that, and I did film my bump moving, because you know when it gets really like alien-y right at the end and there's like bits of your tummy moving in. Oh, bleh. It felt so weird, but I definitely took videos of that and I'm really pleased I did, but I would have loved to document it a bit more, I think, and had I been doing YouTube I definitely would have done that then. Number three, about the best way to pamper yourself. I'm not very good at pampering myself at the best of times, and I don't think I did at all when I was pregnant, but I think because I had such a small bump I was quite lucky that nothing really hurt. I didn't really have to wear maternity clothes. Even at the end of work, I finished work 2 weeks before I gave birth and I was still wearing my normal work clothes, so I was quite lucky in that respect. I didn't feel like I couldn't do stuff. I guess just taking some time out. It's different with each pregnancy though, because obviously when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's my second child, I didn't have time. So actually pampering myself, the thing I did do with my son was I had naps, and I had naps on the sofa in the middle of the day just because I could. Obviously when I wasn't at work. If I was at work, that would have been a bit odd. I stopped work 2 weeks before I had him, and with my daughter I stopped a month before because I was just ready with her. Just a different pregnancy. Every pregnancy is different. I was very sick with both of them, sadly. Number four, about prepping for baby. I think this is not necessarily something you can do. You can have all the equipment in the world, everything you think you'll need, but when this little person arrives and they rely on you for everything else goes out the window. Like, I remember having, the one good thing I really did have was a breast pump, because he couldn't feed to start with, so I used to have to express all the time, and the midwives wouldn't have let me go home from hospital unless I had one at home. So it really helped that I already had that. So I had been prepared, I had kind of got everything. I'd got the cot, the Moses basket, the clothes, little baby bath. But I think ultimately, as long as you've got really the basics, nothing can really prepare you for becoming a parent. And I don't think that changes any time, because when you get more than one, you've got the kind of juggle of trying to look after a small person and a new tiny person, and suddenly your small person seems really big compared with this tiny person. So I don't think you can ever be fully prepared. I don't know if that's helpful or not. Number five, about products you will need. Now, like I said, the breast pump was something I'd never anticipated needing, but I absolutely did need. I hadn't intended to do any kind of bottle feeding. As it turned out, he couldn't bottle feed, he had a tongue tie, so he literally was like cup fed until he had it snipped. The baby bath we used all the time, but I know other people never used them, and we also had a little baby bouncer thing that went on the floor, and that was invaluable because we used that every single day. He loved it, but you also have to expect that the things that work for one child might not necessarily work for the second child. So my daughter hated the bouncer, absolutely hated it. If you put her in it, she just screamed, whereas my son would sit in there for like an hour just perfectly happy. He'd sleep in it, he loved it. So you can't kind of be prepared for how different they are. Number 6, about preparing your other children. Well, as I said before, my son was nearly 2 when my daughter was born, and again, I don't think there's that much prep you can do. We bought him kind of a little baby doll and a pushchair, and he was pushing that round and loved pushing it round. But I don't think at that age you can even begin to comprehend that a baby means that it's, you know, it's hard enough as an adult who has a baby in their belly to comprehend that that is actually a baby, let alone a 2-year-old, nearly 2-year-old, comprehending that that lump that kind of squirms occasionally is actually going to be their sibling. So I think it's quite hard. We read a lot of books with him, we talked with him lots. We also bought him a present from the baby, which I definitely think helped. We were quite lucky in that they did get on. He was really, really lovely with her when she was first born. Soon changed, but you know, to start with, they were really nice to each other. Number 7, about sleep. I know everyone says this, but sleep whilst you can. I remember when he slept, I slept. So if he had 2 naps in a day, I had 2 naps in a day, because there is nothing worse than that broken sleep at night. And when you've got a tiny baby, there's absolutely no chance that they're going to sleep all the way through the night. So you're waking every sort of 2 to 4 hours throughout the night. So just go to bed early and sleep when they sleep in the day. There's like, housework can wait, it really, really can. It's really not that important. So just sleep whenever you can, because sleep is like the most magical thing you can get when you've got a newborn. Number 8, about maternity clothes. Well, as I said before, I didn't really wear many. I did have 1 pair of maternity jeans that I wore for both pregnancies, and it was just, they were just the comfiest jeans in the world. I would still wear them now if I could, because I've never had a comfier pair of jeans. They had like an over the bump, I don't know, elasticated panel. And the other thing I did was I just used to buy kind of smock tops, so tops that were just open a bit at the front, and instead of buying like a maternity coat, I just went to the charity shops and bought a coat that was 2 sizes bigger than my normal coat for like a tenner, and that got me through. It was absolutely fine. Number 9, about products you don't need. I don't think there were many products that we got but didn't actually need or use. Number 10 is about labour and delivery, and I would tell my pregnant self to do exactly what I did, which is not to read any of the books about labour, to literally go la 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 and just experience it for myself. Because my son, I was in labour for 4 days. It took absolutely ages, but it wasn't, it was okay. My waters didn't break, they broke my waters for me, and not long after that he was born. I didn't have any pain relief, and it was fine. My daughter's birth, and perhaps I'll do like 2 labour stories, was very, very different. She arrived very quickly. She was born in her waters and I had to catch her, otherwise she would have landed on the floor. So totally, totally different labours, and I don't think you can be prepared, even if you've had a baby, I don't think you could be prepared fully for labour, and I wouldn't have wanted to know. I just didn't want to know. I couldn't have watched anything like One Born Every Minute before I had children, because it would have freaked me out. And I just thought, it's going to hurt, so I'll just deal with it. That'll be absolutely fine. But again, with my daughter, I had no pain relief. She came so quickly, I didn't even have time to put like the TENS machine on or anything. But I think it's just such a subjective thing that you can't really ever advise anyone on what labour is going to be like, because you just don't know how you're going to react. You don't know how the baby's going to progress. You just don't know. Labour is such an unknown. So yeah, I don't think I would have told myself. I think I went with the right option of not listening to anyone who told me any stories, and not reading that part in any of my birth books, and going into it as unprepared as I could do, really, because I just thought, you know, how prepared can you really be about labour, even when you've had a baby? You can have 2 utterly different labours. I think the only thing I would tell myself is not to panic, because it would be very easy to panic, I think, during labour, but I kind of went into myself and just concentrated on breathing. I think it was kind of hypnobirthing, but I hadn't practiced anything like that. But I just concentrated on my breathing. I didn't really talk much, and that worked fine for me. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you, MamaKat, for this tag. It was a really nice one to do, and kind of, yeah, I enjoyed filming it, so thank you. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you would like to see a video on labour or my birth story for either child, then let me know, and I will see you again soon. Alright, bye!